So not everything that you use your leftover turkey for has to be boring traditional soup. Look at these enchiladas. Well, guys, it is that time of year where we're going to be dealing with leftover turkey. And I know it's not even Christmas yet, but you saw us get that free turkey the other day at the grocery store in our hall. And the decision was made, we're just going to have turkey dinner a little early this year because I wanted to get plunging into making a few other things and save some space in the freezer. So we cooked it up. It turned out amazing. Had a wonderful, almost Christmas dinner. And you know what's really neat? It gave me the opportunity to use my little stir mechanism that I'd gotten probably 2 years ago now for Christmas and still hadn't used. It made it amazing. Put it into the gravy pot, away it went, and I was able to go on and do something else, and my gravy didn't burn. I didn't have to worry about it. Didn't have to call a kid for help. So all in all, absolutely loved having the dinner. But that left us with leftovers. We ended up eating the turkey twice, and we've got about 3 pounds of turkey. I almost said chicken. 3 pounds of turkey here, and we're going to kind of plunge into just some fun things that we like to make out of that leftover turkey. So the first thing we did, of course, was get all the meat off of the bones on this turkey. That's where this 3 pounds has come from. And now all those bones are sitting in my big pot out on the porch to make, you guessed it, broth. First thing on the agenda is some turkey salad wraps. Now, these are for the kids for lunches for tomorrow. So we're going to make up this turkey salad now, and then tomorrow morning we will assemble it. It is really simple. Everybody has made turkey salad before. I know this, but one thing that I always put in my turkey salad that is so awesome: turkey salad, tuna salad, chicken salad, rabbit salad. It doesn't matter what's up. Potato salad, Fiesta corn relish. It just makes any salad amazing. People that don't even like potato salad eat potato salad when it's made with Fiesta corn relish. So that is the secret ingredient. And I do believe I have this as a recipe video actually. So I will link it below. So we're starting out with 3/4 pound of chopped up bite-sized meat. And to that, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of mayo. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of Fiesta corn relish. Now, you could do 2, but we love it, so I know 3 is fine for us. Now, if you don't have Fiesta corn relish, you can also use a sweet pickle relish. It works just fine. Flavor's a little bit different, but that is kind of your traditional way of making a turkey or chicken salad, is with relish or bread and butter pickles chopped up, that sort of thing. So we're just really subbing out the relish product for the Fiesta corn relish. And believe me, it's worth it. So where were we? Then we're going to chop up. I have a whole stalk here. We're not going to put this whole stalk in. It is quite a large one. Probably half of that. You want about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of really finely chopped up celery. And the other thing that we're going to be doing is green onions. Now, normally I would do 3, maybe 4 green onions, but we are using our little shallots that are growing downstairs. And believe me, these guys have got some punch. They are spicy. So I'm not actually cutting up as many of those because it will just overpower the whole flavor here. But if you were doing this with a store-bought green onion or a nice fresh green onion out of the garden, I would recommend probably 3 tops and put them in. So then it's just salt and pepper to taste. I know everybody hates that. I tend to do about 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. We really like things peppery. It gives a little bit of a kick. And a tablespoon of lemon juice. Then we just mix that all together and bada boom, bada bing. I don't even know where that saying comes from, but anyways, it just came out of my mouth. You've got chicken salad. And just like that, all mixed up, nice and easy. Now we're going to put this in the fridge for tonight, and then tomorrow morning we're going to put that onto a whole wheat wrap with some lettuce. It'll be wonderful for the kids. A good, healthy leftover dinner. I'm just going to do a quick taste test to make sure it's as good as it looks. Oh yeah. Well, guys, you just saw in the last video, we made that yummy enchilada sauce, and I had a partial jar left over, almost a full jar to be honest. So of course the most logical thing to do with this leftover turkey is make turkey enchiladas. They are so delicious. It's basically like a casserole. We're going to put a bunch of stuff in the frying pan and then roll it up and grill it in a wrap, and then we're going to put it into a casserole dish like this one. And then we're going to put that into the oven and bake it all off with cheese on top and the sauce. It's amazing. So without any further ado, let's get busy with that. I have here 1¼ pounds of the turkey. I was going to just do a pound of it, but it seems silly to just leave the ¼ pound, and that's all I had left. So we're going all in. So first we need to get this mixed up with a bit of spices and some onions and peppers. So let's go through this. All right, so first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil into our pan because we need to fry off some of our vegetables. We've got 1 medium onion. Basically, we're gonna chop that up. I like it diced pretty small and fine, works out to about ½ cup. Could be 3/4, depending on how big your chunks are. And then about a cup of diced up red peppers, green peppers, whatever you happen to have. I'm using our frozen ones, and they are definitely going to defrost down to that cup, although they're not looking very defrosted right now, but it will work out just fine. And the last thing we're going to put in here right now to fry off is a couple cloves of garlic. We're just going to put them through our garlic press, and then we're going to fry all this off. And once those onions are kind of translucent, we're going to add a bunch of seasonings and our turkey, and it's going to be amazing. So while this is all frying off, we're going to add our spices into this mixture. Yes, there's a lot of spices already in that enchilada sauce, but you still want your meat inside those wraps flavored amazingly. So you just saw me put in 3 cloves of garlic. We want a pinch of salt, which I say is always a 1/4 teaspoon. You can call a pinch whatever you'd like to call a pinch. 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon black pepper, and a ½ teaspoon of oregano. Then we're going to let this cook off a little bit longer, and then I'm going to put the turkey in. And I have a little bit of chicken stock off to the side, just in case we need a bit of liquid in this to keep it kind of going. You want it to basically shred up. You want that meat to not be chunks. You want it to be all shredded up really nice. And that's the idea, which we may need that chicken broth in order to achieve. So you can see what I mean there. It's starting to kind of shred up into those littler pieces. That's what I like to have, almost more burrito style meat than big chunks. I haven't added any of that liquid that I was talking about, but I've got the advantage of these frozen peppers, which had a lot of moisture that had come out of them. So you might still need to, but I'm going to leave it as it is. I think now we're ready to pack this into wraps, switch to a clean frying pan, and grill them up. So as you can see, we've switched to a clean pan. Again, we're going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil in there. And this time I am adding butter because everything is better with butter. So that's going in there to start heating up. And then we're going to take a 1/4, not quite a 1/4, because I think I'm actually going to make at least 5 or 6 out of this. There we go. Just kind of plop it into our wrap, and then we roll it. I tuck, tip in our ends, both ends, and roll it the rest of the way like that. And I'm going to just set it off to the side because our pan's not hot enough yet. But once it's hot enough, we will put that in there just to grill up the outside. I always put the folded, the edge side down, because if you grill that first, it tends to stay together better. So while that is frying, we're going to get our casserole dish here ready. I've got my oven at 350. We will put it higher when it comes time. But I put about a 1/4, maybe a little bit more in there. And then just kind of smoosh it around. It's just something to kind of bed these down in. And then as they finish up in our frying pan, we will transfer them to here. And there they are, looking all nicely grilled, ready. My sauce is ready in its container there. And it's just about time to transfer them over. We're going to do one more turn because you can see this side here still isn't done. But I usually work in 3s. All right, well, I had to advance to a bigger casserole dish because they weren't all going to fit in the one. I ended up with 6. They turned out gorgeous. So next step is going to be to put the rest of that sauce on top, and I'm going to spatula out what was in the bottom of the original dish. And then we're going to put 4 ounces of shredded cheese all on top. And then I'm going to bake this in the oven 400 for probably about 20 minutes, but I will confirm that at the end because you don't want it burnt. There's nothing worse than when that cheese and everything's all burnt. So I'm going to say 20 minutes, but I'll come back and confirm. I've just turned the oven off, but we're letting it cool off because, as many of you know, my fire alarm goes off if I open this oven when it's 400 degrees. So we're just letting her cool down, but it did go for almost the 20 minutes before I did shut it off because the cheese was really starting to brown, but I'll show you that in a second. But first I'm going to have a quick little conversation because, as many of you also know, we are trying to be low carb, and you've just seen me roll these in Dempster's whole wheat wraps. Yes, I know we're doing a little shortcut. We were allowing ourselves to eat the wraps, but as we've kind of hit a plateau in our progress on the low carb diet, it's not a diet, but a lifestyle. One thing that we've noticed is we've allowed ourselves to eat a lot of wraps, and maybe we shouldn't. So stay tuned because I'm going to try and get creative with a few different recipes because you must be able to make wraps yourself, and you must be able to use almond flour or things like that because we really do like things like enchiladas or soft tacos, things like that. So hopefully we can come up with something. And if you have any suggestions or links to some recipes that you particularly like, I would love for you to leave them down in the comments below because this is something that's going to be very new to me and I am definitely needing some suggestions. Oh, wow. Look at that beauty, guys. Woo! Those are some gorgeous enchiladas. And I know I say it all the time, but the smell, it's going to be fantastic. This is such a great way to use your leftover turkey. And it's a great way to use my enchilada canning sauce. So make sure you check out that recipe from the other day. But we are about to cut into these and enjoy them with a Caesar salad on the side. All right, guys. Moment of truth. Taste test this puppy. I already know it's going to be awesome. It's also going to be very hot. So good. So good. It's going to be hard to only eat one. We are ending off the use of our leftover turkey the way most people do. Broth and soup. That's right. We're doing some raw pack canned soup here. Got everything all ready. I'll go through the ingredients, but it is a super simple way to use up those bones and all that little bits of meat. I actually ran short on some of the meat and had to add a little bit of silky from the freezer, but all in all, 7 jars going to be going into the pressure canner. So that's pretty good. And that wraps up the end of the Christmas holiday. Well, not really. It's just the end of Christmas Day for us. But so far in these jars, we have a 1/4 cup corn and a 1/3 cup of our noodle beans. Both of these were out of the freezer. Then we've put in a 1/2 cup of diced up potatoes, not cooked, not frozen. These are just peeled and right into the jar. Then I've got a 1/4 cup onion and 1 clove of garlic, followed up with 1/2 cup of carrots chopped up and a 1/3 cup of celery. And this was a great way to use the leftover fresh veggies that we'd put out on Christmas Eve. So it used up a whole bunch of celery and things that we had still kicking around. And then we've topped that off at the end here with a 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of your turkey meat. Now, of course, there's still a bit more to go in this jar. So next we're going to put our spices into the jars. I love to put a teaspoon of my homemade veggie stock. If you don't have your veggie stock or bouillon cube or something like that, you could just put in 1/4 to a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Basically, this is a salted spice, so it does have a few other things in there that just give it a little bit more punch, but that's okay. Then I'm going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. This is a mixture homemade of thyme, bay leaf, oregano, parsley, and basil. So I just kind of take a scoop out of that, put it right in. It's really, really nice. Sometimes I even powder it a little bit finer, but for soup, I like to just leave it as it is. And then 1 tablespoon of home canned tomato paste. You can use store-bought as well. It doesn't really matter. And then top that jar all the way up to 1 inch from the top with your hot chicken broth. And into the pressure canner it goes. It's that easy. Just get your lid on. Make sure you leave the 1-inch headspace. And then we're going to pressure can this for 90 minutes. And the reason we're doing 90 minutes, even though it's a soup, is I like to fill my jars full. We don't love runny soup because we don't really like to put crackers in things. So it'll be a little bit less liquid. So I want to make sure that it is heated right through. So we're going 90 minutes for these quart jars. And then we'll take them out. And hopefully they all seal. And hopefully this is tucked away for the pantry challenge coming up in only like 5 days. Crazy! Look at this. 14 jars of that turkey vegetable soup. Well, I will say half of them are actually our silky chicken vegetable soup with all that turkey broth, but we got enough broth to do out these 14 jars, enough turkey to do out half of them, and all in all, I'm super pleased. This is a lot going into the pantry, and it got a few things out of the freezer, not too much, but we used some of those silky bones, and we used corn and some noodle beans out of the garden. So all in all, super pleased. We are, what is today? Yeah, we are I think I already said this, but anyways, we are 5 days away from the pantry challenge, and there's still a few things I'd really like to get in there, but the nice thing is we can keep canning and using stuff out of the freezer and using stuff out of the pantry to make all these good ready meals, which is what really sees us through staying out of the grocery store. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed seeing what we did with our turkey. Leftovers are always great, but at the end, this is really crooked. I just noticed how crooked my camera is. Oh, well, we're going to roll with it. So turkeys are something that you always have this time. Turkeys. Oh my goodness, I'm having so much trouble. Leftovers are always something that you have this time of year. And believe me, we are eating so much snacky foods and leftovers, but that will all be gone come January 1st. And hope you will stick with us to see how we use everything that we've put away in the pantry in 2025.